Good evening, Skyflight Stories, goeienaand, Kaapse vlaktes en mense. Hope you guys are good, hope het gaan goed samen julle. You guys know that I have been the last couple of weeks shared with you the story of Quentin, Lucille, and Councillor Bowden regarding the pancake, the business that was removed from Musenberg. And I wanted them in tonight because we need to have this conversation. What is really happening? Why? Hoe could die mense hulle permit verloor? And I know many of you support him because I've read your comments and I know you are 100% behind him. But we need to get to the bottom of the story. Why is the city doing this? And I said to you last week and the week before last, we shouldn't make it a color thing. But why are they doing this to small businesses? And it seems like it is repeating itself all over the Western Cape. And I want to just, before we start, say this. This is the words of the mayor. The mayor said in the studio, he said it before he became mayor, he said it, his goal and vision is to make Cape Town an easy place to do business. It shouldn't be difficult. But I don't think that words has materialized yet because when you take people's permits, you're actually messing around with their livelihoods. So tonight we're going to talk to Lucille and Quentin from the Pancake and also Councillor Bowden. And I want you guys to please share this live. Please tag your friends. It's lives like this that needs to get out there so people know what's happening and what we need to do about this. So without any further ado, I'm going to invite Councillor Bowden into the studio and Lucille and Quentin. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or gentlemen and lady.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, Sam. Good
Hi.
evening, Councillor.
Hi, Councillor.
Hello there. Hi, guys.
Lucille, I spoke to Quentin. Quentin is by a scam, so I will allow you to talk. I'm just playing. You guys have been struggling with the city for weeks now, months, weeks, months to get a permit. Tell us about the procedure and how has it been for you?
Okay, yeah, well, so it's Quentin and Lucille Abrams, we the Pancake. We we run this small business together, husband and wife, small business. And we started out with having a permit in 2018 with the city of Cape Town, for Musenberg Surface Corner. And look, for any small business starting out, it's like a trial and error, and it's something that you hope to grow. You go there with hope and passion and everything. And I can tell you that it being on Musenberg, it was a dream come true. Because we got that platform. Here we go. We've got something good going. But to be honest, the journey was not very easy. It was not easy. Trying to establish yourself in Musenberg. So besides the challenge of being a small business and starting out and hoping that people will like your product, hoping people that will like your business and support you and those things, we had lots of challenges where we were made to feel how can I say, we were kind of made to feel like we don't belong, and it was a bit of a struggle. We had issues where people would come to us and like, do you have a permit to be here, and those things. And you're like, yes, and you don't expect that. You really don't expect people to treat you that way. And you also think to yourself, you know what, I'm actually I would like to think I'm actually educated enough not to just rock up somewhere and just do my thing. And I mean, why would we do that? We know we need to have our paperwork in order,
Yes.
but you get treated as if you're just coming there and you're invading the space. But yeah, and then I and then everything just started like I think it was around about 2020. It was actually in COVID, when everybody was struggling and everybody was feeling the pinch and whatever. We were called in by the official that deals with the permits. We were called in. We were told, we were first actually asked like, what do you sell there? What are you doing? What are you cooking on the beach? And we like,
Mm.
we don't cook on the beach. We sell a coffee, we sell a pancake, we sell a sweet
Mm.
treat, ice cream, those things.
Mm.
And we were told, okay, well, anyway, we gave you the wrong bay and you need to move. We're under pressure from certain shops and certain organizations, namely MID, which is Muizenberg Improvement District. They
Mm.
represent the stores, and we need you to move to the right bay. You were in the wrong bay. And then we like, okay. And then we got the story of the bay was changed in 2012, and in
And
and
issued as a permit in 28.
yeah, and now in 2020, you're telling us you made a mistake in 2012. And still in 2018, with your mistake, you managed to allocate us a bay,
Mm.
you know. And then we basically said, okay, then give us our amended paperwork, because law enforcement rocks up there anytime. We've got
Yeah.
people that phone law enforcement for even knows what to come and check up on us. And we were like, give us our amended paperwork so that we can show law enforcement, that this is the bay we need to be in.
Mm.
Um, and then that that I'm not gonna do. I can tell you a long story about that, but I'm not gonna dwell on it. But eventually, from going from you need to move because of shops and mud and those things, we were eventually told, okay, you need to move because now you're obstructing the pedestrian crossing, and
Yeah.
if you don't move, I'm going to issue you with a warning. And then I think, Stan, you were aware, we eventually moved from one bay to the other.
Yes.
I even reached out to the mayor's office to say, listen, I'm having this challenge where people are telling me move here, but then I'm getting questioned by law enforcement. Why are you there? You don't have a permit to be there. And then we got a response from the mayor's office to say, no, they in agreement, we need to move. And, if we don't, we are not complying with the law and we're going to
Mm.
be trading illegally and those things. And because Quentin and I do not want to break the law,
Mm.
we don't want to be, we don't want that on our names. We eventually moved.
Yeah.
And um, I think because we gave some issues with the move, we kind of challenged it, like why and what and whatever. I think we might have stepped on some toes or
Yeah.
something. Um, because as soon as it was time to put in our application for a new permit for the new cycle, the permits are only valid for a 3-year cycle. We were basically pushed from pillar to post, never given feedback on our application.
Mm.
Applications were given in March, closing date was in March, and for months we were pushed around. There's no feedback, there's no feedback.
Yeah.
Um, and then eventually in July, we were told on the phone, sorry, you didn't make it. You didn't make the
Mm.
cut. No official paperwork or reasons or letters were given. And in July, I already knew we didn't make the application. I didn't know why. But I was told that I can't appeal in July when I already knew, because I don't have anything in writing saying
Mm.
I didn't. We were unsuccessful. We didn't have anything in writing,
Yeah.
but yet we knew in July already. And then eventually, after being following up, which is a normal thing, you follow up, you don't get any replies. I
Yes.
got a letter in September saying you were unsuccessful. It was an unsigned letter. It didn't have any reasons or anything. But, from past history, Quentin and I is like, okay, we really upset someone now because
Mm.
now we're unsuccessful and we don't know why. And we just have to basically, the only thing we can do is appeal. It's kind of hard to appeal if you don't even know why
Yes.
what you're appealing for. Do you know what
Mm.
I mean?
Mm.
So
Mm.
I did a whole motivational letter. I got a petition of over 500 signatures showing
Yeah.
support, showing how we contribute to the economy,
Yes.
showing how we give people an affordable treat. They look forward to it. It's not
Yes.
even about us. You should see the
Mm.
comments then about
Yes.
how how they get to bring their kids to have a sweet,
That's
affordable
right.
treat, how
Mm,
pensioners get to, people that can't afford to sit in the cafes, they come and they can have
mm,
something nice, they can have a coffee.
yes.
Pensioners used to gather in the morning with their dogs when they're taking their dogs. They
Mm,
come there, they sit, they talk. So it wasn't just about us, it was about what we contributed to the
mm,
community and to our people. Um,
yes.
yeah, and I put that all in an appeal. Councillor Bowden saw my appeal. Apparently it ticked all the boxes, so I still don't know,
Mm,
how or what was wrong.
mm,
And then eventually, with the appeal, during the waiting on a response regarding the appeal, I was on Facebook one day. I was just like, I'm always looking out if it's happening to anyone. Is it just us? I want to see if it's just us or we're being singled out. And
mm,
then I searched on Facebook like beach traders, and then I came across a post where Councillor Bowden um
mm,
posted that he successfully helped traders that have gone through the same thing as us, got letters with no reasons, just telling people, sorry,
mm,
you're unsuccessful. And Councillor Bowden managed to actually get these people their permits back. And I thought, sure, really, heaven sent, because I'm telling you, we've had customers that have emailed the mayor's office. We've tried to contact our ward councillor, our DA. Amy calls, she's a DA ward councillor. We've tried to
mm,
reach out. We've tried every angle, Stan, like
yeah,
every
yeah.
angle. And like we just always get told, sorry, a
Mm,
proper process was followed and you
yeah.
didn't make the cut. And then, I reached out to Councillor Bowden, and from there, it's a glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
The fight still continues. W- like we managed to get a response out of the appeals department. It wasn't the response we were looking for, but we managed to get some reasons. And yeah, it was related to the bylaw, something about new traders get preference over old traders.
Mm,
But strangely enough, we applied for 2 bays, and we actually made the cut for that 2 bays, but we lost
yeah.
out to
Mm,
to certain to other people. Yeah, and for me, from my point of view, honest opinion, it's like they tried really hard to
mm.
actually not give us the any
Lucille,
base.
before we go over to our council, I just want to ask you one question. So, at the moment, since you guys have left Musenberg, obviously there's no income coming into the house, and we have to tell the people the truth. You guys can't trade because maybe you do now and then a trade, but it has been difficult for you. And I think in
Mm,
this economic difficulty, paying a bond, cost of living, you need to make sure that the children go to school. There's a strain on you and on Quentin, right? How do
mm,
you guys cope? Because I mean, I won't be able to cope. And this is what the city and the mayor, the same mayor that said that he will make this an easy place to do business, is the one that's responsible for this. I also spoke to the mayor. I got a reply back. I showed Quentin, and I'm very upset because they said he's looking into it. Now, when you promise somebody something, it pisses you off, to be honest with you. And you guys are at home now. Your livelihoods are abrupted. Tell us more about that quickly, and then I'll go over to our counselor just to get more detail.
Okay, yeah, okay, Stan, if I can come in here. Look, it's been tough for the past few months, So, because even the people that used to help me on the beach, So
Mm,
even with them, I had to make the unfortunate decision to tell them, look, I can't, because now you have to basically look after your family, and so it is a bit, it is tough. So, and also what I'm trying to do in the meantime is, so I'm trying to apply for a few events, so the events that I maybe get on weekends. That is basically, yeah. So it is now, going different avenues, but also trying to make it work, so
Okay.
that there is at least something to fall back on.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, it is a bit tough,
So,
but yeah,
yeah.
it is a bit tough, but yeah. So, but like I'm saying, is we have to now obviously think a bit out of the box,
Yeah,
That's
to
right.
make it work.
we adjust, we adjust to the circumstances, and
Mm.
yeah, one thing, we were never big spend. We
Mm,
all about saving for the future, saving for our kids.
That's right.
We make sure that our kids get what they need, and
Mm.
I think everybody's feeling it now, where you have to pinch here and there.
Yes.
With us, it's just a bit extra at the moment, but yeah,
Mm-mm.
mm. And
it's
and and
Okay.
also one thing is, then look, with this whole thing that's been going on, there is so much unfairness involved in there,
That's right.
So and that is basically what, since I'm off the beach, I literally haven't even go to the beach side to even take a walk, because you
Mm.
get so much of your loyal customers that are asking you,
Yeah.
when are you coming back? And that basically, it puts me in a situation where I don't want to be, because you feel so down, because I really gave it my all. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and that is why, people was basically drawn to us, because you went out of your way to do the best. And it is so sad for, I mean, you've worked so hard to basically
Yes.
give it your all, and you gave it your all, and then it is so easy for someone else's to come and, like, to pull the carpet under you. And I mean, it is it don't sit well with me.
Okay. I just want to go quickly over to Counselor. I'll be back with you two now. Counselor, before I go over to you, I just want to ask you the question. This is not the first case that you've been doing. There was other cases as well where you had to represent other people as well. I understand many people have actually referred me to the couple, I think it's Bloberg, where you assisted. Just give us also more about that because, like I said, this is not only a certain race. I think it is that they want to close down on small businesses that's training and I mean certain areas. Just more on your side on that matter.
Evening, Stanley. Thanks very much for the opportunity. Yes, as a councillor for Cape Independence Party, Cape Exit, and a proportional representation councillor, I'm able to work across the entire metro. And I was alerted, it was towards the end of September, I think it was, or beginning of October. I was alerted to an incident on the Tableview beachfront where an elderly couple, they're in their mid 80s, and had been trading on the Tableview beachfront for 15 years plus, were simply ignored until they made inquiries with regards to their beach trading application, and they received an unsigned letter with no reasons given for their application being declined or being unsuccessful. The exact same letter was given to all unsuccessful traders, exactly the same letter that Lucille and Quinton received. Now, that was early in the process, so I was able to jump in and start fighting with and negotiating with the manager who's in charge of this beach trading department. And I studied the bylaw because this was all done. I mean, everything is done according to a policy and a bylaw. And I studied this bylaw, and the reasons that he gave to me was that they did not qualify in terms of the bylaw. So when I had a look at this, first of all, the couple had only applied for one particular site because they can't move their trailer around on the beachfront. They're elderly. They can't unhitch the trailer and move it and whatever. So this was the perfect site for them. Cut a long story short, I was able to secure that same site that they were on for this couple. there was another couple just a short way down that had a similar situation. They had put 5 applications in a space of 3 months, and all of them were ignored. They'd never received even a letter. It was just simply brushed aside. Next to them is a gentleman who is from the DRC. He's been trading on the beachfront for 20 years. Okay, he's legally in South Africa. He's got all his papers. There's no reason why, again, he should be ignored. Why ignore the gentleman? His name is Gilbert. Great guy. So I took all of these cases on. I fought for all of them. I was able to secure their sites for them. All right. Shortly after sorting out those 3 sites is when Lucille and Quinton made contact with me. And unfortunately for their situation, it was already in the appeal process, and it was already part of that, that legal process. So it was not an easy thing, because I had limited contact with this particular manager from Informal Beach Trading. I did set up a meeting with him to try and negotiate a solution for them. We studied the bylaw together, and I also wanted to know on what basis did they not qualify according to their application. And there were 2 sites that they had applied to use, to receive a permit on. And what happened was, in the first instance, on the first site, they came up against a brand new trader, and they had equal scoring with this new trader. And I asked now on this particular issue, I said, is it you that's making the decision, or is there a panel? And he said, there's a panel of people. We are going to be questioning him deeper in terms of that panel when we get to court. And he said to me that when it is a new applicant, it's automatic that if they score equally, the new applicant receives the permit, because that is in the bylaw. And it is in fact so. That's in the bylaw. This bylaw was passed in 2009, and that means that the citizens of Cape Town who are informal traders, past and present, have in actual fact been coming up against this very, very unfair bylaw that was passed by a DA majority-led council in 2009, was promulgated in the Provincial Gazette as law in Cape Town. All right? Very unfair law. So the second site that they applied for, they came up against an applicant who is also a previous a trader, has got experience as being a previous beach trader, and they tied. They had equal scores. I asked them, well, then how did Lucille and Quinton not qualify? How did they, why were they overlooked? He says, well, the committee went over onto a lucky draw. So I said, what are you talking about? So he says, yes, they do a lottery. So he explained to me in great detail how the applicant numbers, they don't know who the people are on the applications. It's just the number of the applicant. So let's say, for example, it's 275. 275 is put on a piece of paper in a hat, and the same for the other trader. And they literally draw a number, and that person then becomes, so they're gambling with people's lives and people's livelihood. I really thought I was dreaming when I heard this. I thought, how ridiculous can you be?
Yes.
And this is supposed to be a professional city, a professional department, and they are gambling with people's livelihoods. All right. When the outcome, I said to Quinton and Lucille, do not hold your breaths with this council, this city, and the appeal process, because all that legal services will do is they are going to follow the process. They follow a process whereby they check to see whether the city officials have followed the bylaw or not. There's no emotion. It's got nothing to do with what you write in your appeal.
Yeah.
Incidentally, Lucille and Quentin wrote a great appeal, and they shouldn't even have gone over to the appeal process. They should have objected. But of course, the average person doesn't know this. So, there's nothing wrong with what they did. It's just that it is illegal to send out a letter where you do not state, you say that your application has been unsuccessful, and then you don't give reasons. Okay. You cannot appeal something if there is no reasons given. You need to be able to question and appeal to the higher authority based on what you've been told. So in terms of administrative law, that is illegal what they've done. And secondly, it's an unsigned letter. All right. We don't even know if that is official at that stage. Okay. So I told them, do not hold your breath, because they are simply going to rubber stamp the outcome of the application. All right. So when this appeal document came out, yes, of course, it was dismissed. But now they had changed the lottery to a case of them assessing it. Now they took that out, and they said they assessed both applicants' distance from their residence to the beachfront. Again, how ridiculous is that? What type of criteria? Where do they thumb suck this criteria from? It doesn't exist anywhere. It's not. Yes, Cruz is saying I'm lost for words. Yes, that it is. It is unbelievable. It doesn't appear in any policy. It doesn't appear in any bylaw that you're going to use distance from the person's residence to the to the location, to the site. Okay, the trading site. So it's unbelievable how they treat existing traders who have been loyal to the city. They've been law-abiding traders. They've been there 6 days a week for the entire period. All right. And, they all they want to do is make, all they want to do is make a living and fend for their families. It's unbelievable. I can go on and tell you more shocking stories about what came out in that meeting, such as what is the actual tone of the policy and the tone of the bylaw. When I questioned him, what is this bylaw all about? What is the deep rooted agenda and plan with this bylaw and the policy? And he said, well, very simply, we are not here to retain beach traders. We are not here to ensure that informal traders, all informal traders, not just the beach traders, we're not here to secure their incomes, infinitely into the future. This is a bylaw and a policy. The framework of this policy is to give other people an opportunity. So we move people out, and they must now move into formal trading.
Councillor, my question is,
how do you push people out to go into formal trading? I said to him, does the city have a program which builds skills, business skills? And I say this with all respect to Lucille and Quentin and all the other traders, but it is reality. Where do you pick up these skills? All right. Formal trading skills, where you're now dealing with budgeting and you're dealing with rental of commercial property. You're dealing with having to have collateral, funding. Where does this all come from? Does the city provide you with funding? So I was shocked. When I finished that meeting, I got onto the phone and I gave feedback to Lucille, and I said, this is unbelievable, And then we discussed the matter with our legal counsel, and he reviewed all the documents. It's been taking a couple of weeks for him to go through everything because he's got a hell of a workload, especially this time of the year. And we've decided we are going to bring a review application in the Western Cape High Court. And at the same time, that's to review the whole application as well as the appeal. And then secondly, we are going to bring an interdict, an application for an interdict to have the couple returned to their trading site in Muizenberg, pending the pending the outcome of the review application. So that is where we are right now. We are almost at the end of preparation of documents. It's a mountain of documents that needs to be collated and compiled, and then we're going to be serving the documents on the city. I think at this stage the city thinks that we're bluffing, but we are definitely going ahead.
Councillor, the question that I have for you, the people that or the people that made the decision to implement this law, do we have a list of names? Because we also need to know who these councillors are, so that when we take them on as communities, that we know who they are. Because at the end of the day, they are putting people like Lucille's and other people's lives at not in risk, but putting it in a difficult situation. Because, like I said, this is affecting their livelihood. What is the chances of them maybe getting back to Muizenberg within the next couple of days or couple of weeks, or is this still going to be a long process?
Okay, your first question with regards to who were the councillors that were in council in 2009 when this beach trading bylaw was finalized in council and promulgated in the provincial government gazette. I don't know who they are, but I can tell you that it was the DA city council, majority DA, together with other parties that were in council at that time. And I'm sure that if you contacted the speaker's office and made an inquiry such as that to say, please, could I have a list of councillors' names? It's public knowledge. They can't withhold that from you. I'd just like to know who the councillors were in 2009 who were serving in council, But yeah, this is I don't think this is a race. This is not a race issue. A lot of times people, I see it on social media. I've seen it on your Facebook page as well, where people try and bring race into this. I am not apologizing. I'm not an apologist, and Cape Independence Party is certainly not an apologist party for the DA. Okay, we take them on, and that was one of the promises that we made prior to the last election, was that we will hold the DA, the city, and the ward councillors accountable should we get seats in government. And we've got 2 seats in the city council, and we are holding the city and the DA accountable on a daily basis. So I think we must just detach race from this and focus on the issue, which is the city has a bylaw which should have been amended years ago. Okay, it should have been tested in court years ago, and it should have been amended years ago. But you see, it's like I said to Lucille and Quentin, the city knows that the average citizen in Cape Town does not have the funds to move past the appeal process to go to the High Court. Okay, because we're talking attorney costs, we're talking council costs, and that's loads of money. Okay, the average citizen does not have that type of funding. Our party is covering the majority of the costs in with regards to this particular case, so it's a negligible amount that Lucille and Quentin are responsible for. But we see this as a very, very, very important case that we need to take on because of the audacity and the arrogance of the city and the city officials. And this needs to be challenged in court. And we need to bring about an amendment thereafter to this particular bylaw.
Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor. I'll be back. I just want to ask, I see Lucille wanna say something. Yes, Lucille?
I'm saying now, for us, the more and more I listen to Councillor, the more it looks like, when you step on toes, or when they don't, they don't want you there anymore, then they can kind of use this bylaw to their advantage
Yes.
to
Yes.
legally get rid of you. And like I said, to us, it seems that this is what is currently happening to us. We kind of we didn't go easy with the move, and maybe they feel they don't feel like dealing with us for the next few years, so we get rid of them now already, in case they're gonna give us issues for years to come. So yeah.
Lucille, this issue happened. I know I spoke to Quentin. It could be last year or the year before last. It happened when one of the big guys on the beachfront had an issue with you guys. That is where this whole thing started. Um, you had to move, and then where your permit wasn't renewed. So it makes perfectly sense that they're using this bylaw because the bylaw is legally there. So they're actually taking legal steps against you guys. The problem that I have is that they couldn't give you a reason. They didn't give you a reason why they removed you. That is a big. You have to tell somebody, why are we firing you? Why are we doing this? There needs to be reason, but there's no reason. So we should also keep, just like we're keeping the mayor accountable, we should also keep Mr. Festus. I believe he's the person that signs off on this. I'm accountable because, I mean, at the end of the day, most people are removed from the premises and there's no reason why they are being removed. It is just stupid from their side.
Mm. Yep.
No,
Yeah.
Councillor, want to say something?
Yeah, Stan, just on that point of the move, when Quentin, first of all, when a trading site is activated by the city, it has got to, and this is according to this senior official from beach trading, he explained this to me. He said, when a site is activated and they open up the site for applications and permits are issued and whatever, it goes through an 18 to 24 month process where the site is mapped, plans are drawn, photographs are drawn, everything is decided upon prior to it going on public participation process. Okay, so the public then, this is very important to know this, that the public of Muizenberg at Surfers Corner, all the formal traders, all of those that have got commercial shops, all had an opportunity when that site, when those 3 trading sites were installed, they had the opportunity back then to raise any concerns. All right, so it's not like this was just done all of a sudden that Quentin and Lucille were placed there and it was so-called incorrect. No, that site was planned over an 18 to 24 month process. Okay? So therefore, if at the end of the public participation process and the whole process that is followed to have that site activated, the last process or the last part of it is that it gets promulgated in the provincial government gazette. So that is a legal site. If that is a legal site, then how is it possible that this manager says that they, by mistake, issued that permit to Lucille and Quentin with the incorrect site number? Nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
There are only 3 sites. All 3 sites were tabled in the government gazette. It all went through a public participation process. I'm telling you now that the reason why they were moved was because at that particular time, the Muizenberg Improvement District got pressure from 1 or 2 or many shops, commercial establishments. They put pressure on the MID to have Quentin and Lucille moved. The manager of beach trading buckled under and gave in. Instead of saying, I'm sorry, this is a legal trading site. It has been promulgated in the government gazette and they are entitled to be there because they won that particular permit. They applied for it and they were successful in receiving that permit. It was totally unfair and irregular for them to lose that trading site and to be moved to another site. Okay. So just the same as it takes 18 to 24 months to establish a site, you cannot just go and close it down because of public pressure. You can't do that. All right. It's been promulgated as a lawful site. So
And
he's talking nonsense.
yeah, and strangely enough, Stan, when the applications came out in Feb this year, the our old site that they moved us on was
Still on the map.
still on the map. It was still there, and they nicely told us that it's not a trading bay anymore. It was still there. I sent
Yeah.
Councillor Bowden the description of the bays, and it was still there. So they put us out of a bay. They said it's no longer a bay, but when the new applications come out, it's
Still
right
on the map.
there as a bay.
Because I remember they actually said that that is an entrance, so nobody is supposed to stand there because it is it is a problem for people moving through there.
Obstruction,
But,
yeah.
but now what you're saying is that it's still on the map. You can still apply for it. So
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense that they would tell you. Then I think they set you up to move you out. Bottom line. And they'll want you back. And they're using the bylaw. And that's why also we need to realize the problem with the bylaws. The bylaws is starting to become a problem. Why can't we, and this is my question to the city, why can't we implement bylaws like this to curb gangsterism, to curb drugs and things like that? Why are we curbing people that are trying to create a life? I think almost 10% of the economy in Cape Town consists of informal trading. So if you take away that already 10%, what is going to happen to the rest unemployed? I mean, we have a big number in Cape Town, in South Africa, where we have a lot of unemployed people. So making it
Mm.
difficult for people to do business. I mean, I think there was times, Lucio, where you guys also employed people. So you
Yeah.
employed people. Now you can't. That people are unemployed. You are unemployed, and this because
Yeah.
of a simple bylaw and because of the city. And I want to say this, listening to the bigger guys, get rid of them so we can also make money. I think also your guys' prices was much more better than the prices. I think that is what I hear. The word on the street, your product was much better, and I think there's enough play. I was there Saturday. Hundreds of people come through the area every Saturday or in the evenings. I don't see why you guys can't trade it. And I think this the city needs to clear their name because now we're going to look at them as bullies. I think at the end of the day, what they're doing now is they're victimizing and they're bullying you in your husband. So I don't know if you have anything else that you want to add, but I think we should have a conversation every time about this so that people understand when they do vote, we're going to hit them in their pockets where
Yeah.
you know what, it's fine, you can get away with this. But you guys are now suffering because of this stupid bylaw. And I think people need to realize the seriousness of a bylaw, what it does to people, how it affects your
Yeah.
livelihood.
Yes. Yeah, and Stan, what is so sad about it is that nobody's ever took the time to actually, give us a call, send us an email or anything. The city is like, how can we help you? But
Yeah.
like, you,
Mm-mm.
they've not offered anything. And to go to the beach and see the bays are like empty. Nobody's actually
Oh,
utilizing it.
Mm-mm.
um it's sad because I mean
Mm-mm.
we had Dora that helped us. She
Yeah,
got an income. We had
yeah,
Stephen. He was a homeless gentleman.
yes,
He ran
yes.
errands for us. He went to the shop. He's back on the street now. We had
Mm.
Naeem. His grandma, she allowed us to park the trailer. They live in a flat just behind the beach, and
Mm.
we could park. We gave them something every month. There were
Yeah,
small businesses that would drop off biscuits. We would sell it for them, honey,
mm,
those
yeah,
things. Like we're all
mm,
about like empowering, helping
yes.
others. I mean
Mm-mm.
that's what we are. We a community, and it didn't cost Quentin and I anything to help other small businesses support them, sell their products, and just for us to be like just shoved aside and not to be considered. It's very sad. I've really lost
Yes.
my faith. In the DA. I will. They will not see my vote. Never ever.
Yes.
I don't think my mind will ever change, even when I'm
Mm-mm.
60, 70 years old. I
Yeah.
will always
Yeah.
remember this. This has been a
Yes.
tough time for Quentin, and I will never forget it.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
And it's your
yeah,
right. It's your
yeah.
right. You know.
And yeah, it's just like, people think, why do we keep on pushing? It's just this unfairness. It cannot
Mm.
go. I can't allow my kids to see people push us around like that because we're
Mm.
small and
Yes.
they're big and they're just
Yeah.
putting us down. I can't let my kids see, us just bow down, buckle under to this. And that's why
Mm-mm.
we will keep on pushing, we will keep on fighting.
Yeah.
Yes. Council wanted to say something.
Thanks very much, Stan. Yes, I sent an email to the city manager's office. That was, I think, the second week of October, to make a suggestion that they move this entire beach trading department away from its current, from the current department that it resorts under, which is community health, parks and recreation. All right. To move it away from that department and move it to economic growth department, which is incidentally where the rest of informal trading resorts under economic growth. Why? I would not know why beach trading falls under parks and gardens, parks and recreation. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It's an
Yes.
economic activity that is taking place. It's small business, it's micro business, which needs to resort under economic growth. At the same time, I made a suggestion that they see each beach trading operator
Mm-mm.
as an extension of the tourism department. Imagine, and this is something that I have realized in all the dealings that I've had now with all these beach traders that I've been assisting across the city, is that they are coming into contact with international tourists.
Mm-mm.
And they are communicating with them as they are serving them. They're having a great chat. How's your day going? Did you enjoy your surf or whatever it is? They're having a great chat with them. So there's this great communication opportunity where if the traders received a basic little training course, and if they had some brochures and some maps, they could communicate more tourist information to these travelers, these visitors to our wonderful city. They could be an extension of the tourism department. They could be seen as tourism satellite officers.
That's right.
Each little trader could have that there and be handing out. And it's a fantastic opportunity for the traders to feel good about themselves. That they're contributing to the tourism in our metro. Well, we did get feedback that they've started having meetings with regards to moving this department across. So that's very promising. I'm going to be asking more questions with regards to when is it going to happen? When is it going to move to economic growth? Because we certainly don't want repetitions of what we currently got now. And I want to just end off with saying that, I said at the outset that our party, Cape Independence Party, Cape Exit, has been holding the city, the DA, and the ward councillors accountable. And let me tell you something, that in the one ward, the Tableview beachfront, the ward councillor actually put in writing to the Dickmans, the first couple that I assisted, that he can't assist them. He actually put in writing that he can't assist them because there's an investigation going on into that beach trading department. They contacted me and they said, please, if you can help, there's an investigation going on, see what you can do. And I got into action straight away and I started pushing and pushing and pushing and fighting for these people. So, you know, the DA ward councillors are just, they don't have the will to come face to face with city officials and to fight for the citizens of this metro. Okay, that is the problem that we've got here. They don't want to create vibes. I don't give a damn. I will fight for the citizens. Whoever approaches us and says, listen, I've tried everything, I can't come right, please can you help? That is what we're here for. As councillors, it doesn't matter what party, we should all be doing the same amount of work. But it's not like that at all. We should be delivering a service irrespective of the party, but it's not like that at all. Thanks very much for the opportunity.
And you said it very well, Councillor. We have a big problem where some of these ward councillors think that, the little gods, if they tell you can't trade, if you can't be here. I've noticed this all over the Cape Flats as well. Some of them are becoming very arrogant. And what they don't understand is they are telling people what to do. It shouldn't be that way. The people should demand what they want because it's the people that put them into power. The same people that make sure that they have a job, they are disappointing. And we need to put a stop to that. And my solution very simple. Take away from their votes. Give it to the smaller parties. Show us what you can do. And I think that is the only way forward. And that's why we need to think differently 2024. They need to learn a lesson. So thank you so much, Councillor. We're going to have this conversation again because we need to know where we're going. We need to keep the people updated. I would have loved to see Quentin and Lucille back on the spot next week because it is festive. It is big time. There's money to be made and there's nothing wrong with making money. But the city is still making it easy for them to make money. So now their budget is cut. There's things that they can't do because the city has taken away their permit. And I mean, they're only one of many people that we do know of. And I do hope people see this video and people do contact us because I believe there's more people. And I want to say this also. You said it very well, Councillor, that we shouldn't make it a race issue. They're trying to oppress us with businesses. They're trying to keep the businesses away from us. And I don't know what the big plans are, but they're trying to give the businesses to other people, to bigger corporates. And we can see what's happening in Cape Town. It's the big guys with the money that's making money because the city is giving them opportunity and land. Lucille, anything you want to add, you and Quentin, before we say goodbye?
Yeah, look, just basically we miss our customers, we miss what we do. We just, we miss.
And thanks so much for everybody supporting
and
us.
people that are, always saying, giving us, sending us wishes and supporting us. We wouldn't be here without you guys. And like you said, we just all about fairness. And also, I also want to repeat, it's not about the race. It's just about doing the right thing and being fair. That's
Yes.
all we want. We want fairness, and we want people that are, like we say, using the bylaw to their advantage. If they don't like you or they don't like what you've done or are not happy with something that you said, where they use these laws to their advantage, we need people like that to be rooted out. And exposed, and hopefully we will get that. We will see that. But yeah,
Thank you so much. I think Councillor left us now, but thank you so much, Quentin, and Lucille. All the best. We will be back. We will update them every time you go to court or when there's a story. We will update them. But all the best to you guys, and don't give up. Remember, we are standing with you. It doesn't. You guys are not alone. There's thousands of us standing behind you because we need to make sure if you guys win this battle, then many more of us will also win because you guys are actually speaking for us as well. So we need to show them that small businesses do matter and we are part of the economy. I don't know why they are excluding us. And you know what? All the best and good luck to you guys. I will be in contact. Keep me updated and we will definitely come back. But there's a lot of things that we will have a conversation next week on Monday. You guys need to tune in. We will talk more deeper into this matter. But thank you so much, guys, and have a blessed evening.
Thank you, Stan. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers, guys. So that was Quentin and his wife Lucille and Councillor Bowden. Guys, you know what? It has been difficult for many people in Cape Town. Many people recently have actually contacted us and say, but look here, what is happening is that we don't have permits. The story, Al Jamai actually took on a story as well, and they actually took on a case. I think it was last year where the people from Wingate Mall, they were also removed and they assisted. So they're making it difficult for people to apply for permits. And remember, our people don't have millions and billions of rands. First of all, we barely have enough to pay for the permit, so we will pay for the permit. So now we have to buy a stock, we have to sell. And what if they take away that right for you to earn a living? And they tell you, okay, if you want to appeal this, you need to come to the High Court. How many of our businesses can go to the High Court? How many of our people have money? And that is where the DA thinks, or the city thinks, that they have power over us, because they think that, you know what, we don't have money and we can't come to the High Court. So we need to change this narrative. They need to also, like I said last time, we need to speak about the bylaws. I know a little bit more about the bylaws than I knew the last time. So we can oppose the bylaws. We can, but we need people to look into it first. We need the lawyers and the parties to actually help us. So guys, please do pray for Quentin and for his wife Lucille. And please, you know what, stand together. It's time for us to show these people we are serious. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. But I'm going to tell you this, if people are going to try and oppress us, if people are going to take away opportunities from us, and we need to vote, because many of you are going to sit at home on the day of voting day, you're going to braai and drink, you need to stop that mentality. We need to show these guys that we mean businesses. How many small business closed in the last couple of months, years? Many. I know of businesses on the Cape Flats. It's almost like they don't want to give business to our people, you know. And I'm not using race, but you can see businesses closing down, businesses not making money, bigger business coming in, and they actually encourage people from other provinces to come here and to start their businesses. How can you offer other people from other provinces better schools, better hospitals, better opportunities, when your own people here don't have better opportunities, better schools, and better hospitals? You know, it actually, there's a big question mark, you know, and unfortunately we need to talk about it. We need to raise these matters. And like I say, I'm not going to be rude, but we're going to bring out facts. So next week in Monday night, I've got quite a few friends of mine that want to join me in a conversation. What's happening? We're going to talk the voting talk, you know, and I'll have a few influential people with me, because we have to speak our mind. We are in charge of the narrative, not the political party, we as people. And we need to change that narrative. They are servants, they work for us. And if they can't look after us, if they don't have our interest at heart, they need to go. So with any further, not further ado, I'm going to greet you guys tonight and say I'll be back on Monday night. But also before I go, I've got a big reveal for the people of Mitchell's Plain tomorrow night. Something is about to happen in Mitchell's Plain. So I've got Nasif Morris, soccer player. They used to play for Bafana and overseas. He's going to join me tomorrow. He is doing something amazing. He is going to have something happening in Mitchell's Plain, and it's for our kids on the Cape Flats. He's going to give back. And hoorie julle wil wie julle wil hoor wat Nasif Moran sê. So tune in tomorrow night 8 o'clock. It's going to be something that will be beneficial for our children. You know, it will allow our children to dream. It will allow our children to, you know, to wake up with a smile and to be expectant. You know, so it's coming to Mitchell's Plain. Please join me tomorrow night 8 o'clock, and then Monday night as well. Guys, have a blessed evening. Take care of yourself, and don't show people that we are afraid of them. We need to stand together and fight the unjust in the city. Thanks, and have an awesome evening.